World-renowned Dallas pastor Td Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura is a former girlfriend of Combs who filed her own lawsuit in November alleging abuse, violence, and trafficking.
It's all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Td Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Hey everyone, buckle up for this one, as there's some major drama brewing in the world of Td Jakes and Diddy. Yes, you heard that right. For a while, the two have been working together to salvage Diddy's reputation and other things. But guess what? Things have taken a wild turn. Word is spreading that the FBI is investigating Diddy, and suddenly Td Jakes finds himself drawn into the mess. There have been some unexpected twists. One minute they're cooperating, and the next they're both facing a federal investigation. As you can imagine, Jakes isn't exactly thrilled about this development. Who would be? Facing potential trouble because of Diddy's actions? Let's just say he's feeling a little, shall we say, irritated, and rightfully so. Knowing Diddy, though, he wouldn't hesitate to save his own skin. So if that means he was spying on Jay-Z, Td Jakes, or others, what's the plan? You'd better believe TD won't just sit back and let this slide. Oh no, he's preparing for a showdown with Diddy himself. This will be a face-to-face meeting like no other, where Jakes will hold Diddy responsible for dragging them both into this mess and demand some real answers. Yes, it's fair to say things between these two are about to get fascinating. Pop some popcorn, people, because this showdown is going to be unforgettable. As you may know, Sean Diddy Combs is one of the parties involved in a lawsuit with Jakes, the well-known pastor from the Potter's house in Dallas. Allow me to update you on what transpired. Brace yourselves. Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod, a music producer for Combs' Bad Boy Records, has accused Combs and his group of engaging in some very serious activities, including human trafficking. Yes, you heard correctly. This civil lawsuit, which was picked up by USA Today, claims that Combs has been involved in some very shady business. Jones alleges that Combs has been harassing, drugging, and even threatening him for more than a year. Jones isn't just blowing smoke, he's seeking a huge financial reward to the tune of $30 million, and he's not interested in settling quietly. Oh no, he's aiming for a jury trial, which means a legal battle. The showdown between these two big names seems to be heating up, and it's going to be quite the ride. But what's in the lawsuit? According to Rodney Lil Rod Jones, he has some serious dirt on Diddy, including juicy details about how Diddy allegedly planned to use his connection to the Dallas pastor to smooth over legal issues involving Casey Ventura's lawsuit. Jones's 73-page suit includes a brief mention of Jakes. So, what's the tea? Jones claims to have what he calls indisputable proof that Diddy was hatching a plan to use his friendship with Bishop Jakes, among others, to mend some rough patches in his public image. This specifically connects to the lawsuit involving Casey Ventura, whoever she may be. Now, before jumping to conclusions, it's important to note that Jakes isn't actually named as a defendant in this civil suit. Rather, he's been dragged into some scandalous rumors involving Diddy. Back in December 2023, there were whispers on social media about Jakes allegedly participating in some wild parties hosted by Diddy. Crazy, right? Here's the kicker: Jakes isn't taking this lawsuit lying down. In fact, he confronted the rumors head-on during a Christmas Eve service at the Potter's house. So, while Td Jakes may be embroiled in some drama because of this, he's not taking it lightly and seems prepared to handle any rumors that come his way. He's putting his faith front and center, stating that there's enough power in the blood of Jesus to cover any sin, no matter how big or small. He also added that, even if everything being said were true, he has a direct line to forgiveness. All he needs to do is sincerely repent, and boom, problem solved. Jakes insists that he has nothing to be sorry for in this situation. Let's take a moment to reflect on who we're talking about. Td Jakes, the man who started the church in 1996. This isn't just any church, it's a sizable congregation with over 30,000 members spread across Dallas, Frisco, Fort Worth, Denver, and Los Angeles. When he talks, people pay attention. Right now, Jakes is making it clear that he's steadfast in his beliefs and won't let these rumors shake him. It appears Jakes and Diddy have had an interesting relationship over the years. In 2021, for example, Jakes began a sermon series on Diddy's cable television network, Revolt Media. Yes, you read that right, these two were working together to spread the word about faith on national television. But hold onto your hats, folks, because things have taken a turn. This week, Diddy made a major move by selling his stake in Revolt Media to a mystery buyer. That's a huge shakeup, especially considering Diddy started the network back in 2013. As if that wasn't enough, he also stepped down as chairman of Revolt Media last year. It seems Diddy has been making significant moves behind the scenes. But this is where things get really interesting on Monday. Federal agents, including investigators from Homeland Security, decided to visit not one, but two of Diddy's residences. Yes, you read that correctly. It's easy to assume that the relationship between Jakes and Diddy has had its fair share of twists and turns from working together on TV networks to federal raids at Diddy's doorstep. These two have certainly had a roller coaster partnership. Many more people, like Td Jakes, Diddy, and Rodney Lil Rod Jones, have joined this madness. Jones isn't holding back, he's making some quite unsettling statements, one of which concerns none other than Cuba Gooding Jr., the Oscar-winning actor. Yes, you read that correctly. Jones filed a complaint in January 2023, claiming that Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr., 56, and that Diddy left the two of them alone in a studio on his boat. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, and things escalated quickly. If you're thinking this all sounds too crazy to be true, Jones isn't just making empty claims. He alleges that Cuba Gooding Jr. wasted no time getting handsy touching, groping, and fondling him in all the wrong places: his legs, inner thighs, back, you name it. It's seriously disturbing stuff. And no, he's got receipts. According to the lawsuit, there are two photos purportedly showing Gooding Jr. and Jones chatting on the yacht. Diddy is accused of having dominance and control over Gooding Jr.'s actions and of failing to intervene to stop him from assaulting Jones. The lawsuit contains many allegations, and things are getting crazier by the minute. It seems this lawsuit isn't holding back, and neither is Td Jakes' camp. The director of communications for the Potter's House and Jakes Ministries, Jordan H., came out swinging, telling the Christian Post that all the new allegations regarding the bishop that have been circulating on social media are nothing more than fabrications. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's completely untrue and unfounded. However, there's more. Back in November 2022, Jakes was spotted at Diddy's 53rd birthday bash. His representative confirmed his presence to the Christian Post, and social media went wild. Critics quickly expressed their views about Jakes hanging out with the hip-hop mogul. But hold on, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Derek Williams, the executive vice president of entertainment at Td Jakes Enterprises, cleared the air. He told the Christian Post unequivocally that while they did attend Diddy's birthday party, it was strictly business. They greeted the family and even recorded a brief birthday message before leaving for their next scheduled meeting. If there's any suggestion that they did anything else, Williams isn't having it, calling those claims completely unfounded, unverified, and outright false. It appears that Jakes and his team are fighting these rumors head-on. These two, Jakes and Diddy, were more than just acquaintances. In 2021, they were collaborating on a very significant project. Jakes partnered with Revolt Media, the cable TV network Diddy helped start, for a sermon series called Kingdom Culture with Td Jakes. Yes, you read that right, these two were bringing spiritual wisdom to the small screen. However, things took a turn when Diddy stepped down from his position as chair of Revolt Media in November 2023. More recently, rumors circulated that Diddy even sold his stake in the company. What does this mean for Jakes and their partnership? Well, it's safe to say things might be a little different going forward with Diddy out of the picture at Revolt Media. Who knows what the future holds for their collaboration? But one thing is certain, whatever they have up their sleeves next is sure to be interesting.
And you've been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah, I was there when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards, so I know what goes on at the parties.
And even rapper 50 Cent made an appearance to discuss this once.
Fruit pie is a fruit pie. It's a fruit pie. Trust me. You see these little weird ass and shit like that out there, sitting out there for no reason. You'll see accident be like kissing it.
Now, hold on to your hats, people, because there's a really big rumor circulating on Twitter and TikTok. You know how social media investigators are. They're like bloodhounds on the scent of a juicy story. So let's take a closer look before you write this bombshell off as idle chatter. These sources TD Jake wasn't just showing up to parties, it seems that he was a VIP guest at events hosted by none other than the bad boy of hip-hop, Puff Daddy. But wait, these weren't your typical parties, oh no. We're talking about some seriously next-level freak-off parties, if you get what I mean. The kind that make you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors. And wait, it gets even more juicy. This wild rumor doesn't just stop at partying, it also casts doubt on TDS. You heard correctly about Jack's sexuality. If that doesn't make you pause to think twice, here's the joker. John Deal, the former Diddy security employee, has allegedly revealed Jake's involvement in all of this. As they say, when someone with insight or knowledge starts talking, there has to be some truth to it.
Things that really happens and seldom talked about is there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church, it happens in many churches, but I'm referring to the black church specifically.
Now, hold on to your hats, people, because there's a really big rumor circulating on Twitter and TikTok. You know how social media investigators are. They're like bloodhounds on the scent of a juicy story. So let's take a closer look before you write this bombshell off as idle chatter. These sources TD Jake wasn't just showing up to parties, it seems that he was a VIP guest at events hosted by none other than the bad boy of hip-hop, Puff Daddy. But wait, these weren't your typical parties, oh no. We're talking about some seriously next-level freak-off parties, if you get what I mean. The kind that make you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors. And wait, it gets even more juicy. This wild rumor doesn't just stop at partying, it also casts doubt on TDS. You heard correctly about Jack's sexuality. If that doesn't make you pause to think twice, here's the joker. John Deal, the former Diddy security employee, has allegedly revealed Jake's involvement in all of this. As they say, when someone with insight or knowledge starts talking, there has to be some truth to it.
Everybody involved that aided and abetted in Diddy or anybody who does this, Epstein and all the motherfuckers, everybody's guilty. Everybody's guilty.
So buckle up, people, because Gene is about to drop some major bombshells about the bishop that will make your head spin. According to Gene, he used to regard the bishop as if he were a saint entering a den of evil. We've all heard the proverb saints and sinners shouldn't mix, especially at the same events. But here's the real deal. Gene says he saw Jakes firsthand at Diddy's well-known parties, which were anything but holy. Yes, you heard correctly, everything from drinking to engaging in some erotic behavior seemed to be up for grabs, man on man, woman on woman, you name it. And here's the really shocking part. If that wasn't enough to make your jaw drop, it appears people online are ready to throw the book at TD Jakes. John even attempted to give Jakes the benefit of the doubt, thinking maybe he was there to set people straight and lead them down the right path. But alas, it seems that wasn't the case. How many of these freak-off sessions do you have to attend before you realize there's no turning back? Public opinion is already in session, and things aren't looking good for the bishop. One person even commented, sarcastically referring to Jakes as a power bottom. Christians may be the most inclined to be deluded, but some believe Jakes is lying while his congregation just claps and shouts without raising any concerns. There are only two reasons why someone would be caught dead at a Diddy party. Either they're into whatever wild stuff goes down there, or they've got some serious business to handle with the big shots in attendance. Let's be real here, Gene isn't holding back. He's laying it all out on the table, and it's got people talking. TD Jakes doesn't seem to fit into either category. As a man of the cloth, he shouldn't be anywhere near those kinds of parties, whether he's dealing with Diddy behind closed doors or secretly enjoying the shenanigans. A lot of people are nodding in agreement. One person even chimed in, saying that a bishop shouldn't even be at that type of party, and that we should be the light of the world. This has everyone wondering what on earth TD Jakes was doing there in the first place. After all, attending Diddy's parties doesn't exactly scream holy vibes. The million-dollar question is, what was TD Jakes doing there? Cozying up to Diddy and his crew? Stay tuned, folks, because this scandal is far from over. Let's face it, Puffy's reputation precedes him, and his parties are legendary for all the wrong reasons: orgies, drugs, and who knows what else goes on behind closed doors. Not only was TD Jakes damaging his own reputation, but he was also bringing down the entire Christian community with him. Let's not forget the bigger picture here. By rubbing shoulders with Diddy and his colorful associates, Td Jakes unintentionally contributed to the negative perception of Christians worldwide. After all, when one of your own is involved in scandalous behavior, it reflects poorly on the community as a whole. Gene makes it abundantly clear that, in his view, Td Jakes is a disgrace. There are repercussions for Jakes' actions that go beyond his reputation. Christians worldwide may be impacted by the fallout, and many are sick of the hypocrisy. To be honest, I don't care much about these reports about him. He's been a false preacher of the prosperity gospel for years, embracing homosexuality, so nothing would surprise me. In addition, he contradicts the Trinity and other crucial teachings about Christ. Gene is giving us the real deal. He's not holding anything back. Straight from the trenches of Diddy's parties, and it's enough to make your head spin. Let's be real here. We can't exactly blame John for spilling the tea. I mean, we all know the kind of stuff that used to go down at those shindigs. It was like a whole other world behind closed doors, with folks sneaking off to separate rooms for who knows what. But here's where things take a turn. According to Gene, it's not just hush-hush anymore, oh no. It's out in the open for everyone to see, men kissing men, women doing their thing, you name it. It's happening right there in plain sight. If you think it's toned down over the years, think again. John reckons they've probably gotten even freakier as time went on. When you reach a point where you don't even care who's watching, anything goes, right? But here's the real kicker: why on earth would someone in a spiritual advisor role be partying like that? That's the question on everyone's mind. You would think that someone in that position would steer clear of these parties. Gene spoke to a good number of preachers, reverends, and priests, and not a single one of them attended these types of events. So there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. Gene's providing us a front row ticket to the crazy world of Diddy's parties, and it's leading to some very important inquiries about Td Jakes. According to Gene, the scandal is far from over, and with videos about Diddy coming out, things might get even worse for the bishop. Many others are involved in all of this too, or over. It's not Td Jakes has had a clear past. This man and his whole family has a lot of skeletons in the closet. Word on the street is that one of the bishop's sons got himself in some trouble in Dallas not too long ago, and get this, he was supposedly found in a park known for gatherings of the LGBTQ community engaging in some pretty indecent activities. Now you can imagine this news is raising a few eyebrows. I mean, when your dad is a prominent figure like TD, you'd expect a bit more discretion, right? But it looks like his son had other ideas, and let's be real here, getting caught up in something like that is not a good look, especially for someone with Jake's reputation. It's got people wondering what's really going on behind closed doors. So yeah, it seems like the drama just keeps coming for the Jake family, with scandals swirling left and right. It's anyone's guess how they'll weather this latest storm. So what do you think is the pastor involved in all of Diddy's dirty business?
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is really f***ing creepy. Like, Beyonce has been trying to write me out of my own narrative for like years at this point. Like, this is so f***ing weird.
Sean Carter is worse. He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy. This been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
You are aware that Cat Williams exposed how Jaguar Wright went all out to discredit Diddy and Sean Carter, saying that Jay-Z's more talented than Diddy and is essentially the driving force behind all the young women who signed to Bad Boy Records, only to eventually leave with tarnished careers. Well, I have some shocking news for you that will make you laugh out loud. We take any accusations made against Queen Bey herself seriously, and Cat Williams is giving us reason to believe that Beyonce, not Jay-Z, may be the mastermind behind it all. With that said, allow me to address some recent developments openly and sincerely. Some of Beyonce's personal secrets, previously kept tightly under wraps beneath the sparkle and glamour of her public persona, have been disclosed by Cat Williams. The well-known comedian, renowned for tackling taboo themes with courage, delves deep into the intricate web of the music industry's power players. We all know that tampering with the Bayhive is akin to playing with fire. But this isn't just any celebrity. Cat is boldly stepping into the spotlight to reveal what he believes may be the secret narrative behind Bey's seemingly flawless career. Viewed, this is a daring move by Cat to square off against one of the greatest music legends in history. My friend, after taking on industry heavyweights like Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart, Cat has shown that he isn't afraid to challenge the status quo. Now, he's focusing on Queen Bey herself, and the likelihood of being stung by the Bayhive, well, let's just say the odds are pretty high. But Cat, true to form, remains undeterred. continuing to speak his truth regardless of the consequences. In a recent, eye-opening interview, Kat pulled back the curtain on the music industry's behind-the-scenes machinery. According to him, it's not just about talent and hard work, rather, it's a complex game with key players strategically positioned at the top. This revelation adds a layer of intrigue to his ongoing quest for transparency in a sector known for greed, power, and betrayal.
But I do feel like if you're signed to somebody's record label, right, or you are in business with somebody, that's part of what you assume or what you think, right? If I'm an artist and I sign to anybody, and I seen Jay-Z do it to his biggest artists, Beanie Siegel, to Rihanna, to Kanye, to Emil, you know, he promoted him.
And people are figuring it out fast. One individual said that society is in decline because people think Beyoncé is a singer rather than a god. Not only do Beyoncé and Jay-Z have the potential to pay for the harm they've caused to other musicians out of power and greed, but I would much prefer to listen to music royalty like Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin. Now, let's explore the mystery behind Cat Williams' new revelations. While he didn't provide names, people are assuming that he is addressing none other than the legendary Beyoncé. Let's discuss Queen Bee, the pinnacle of a glitzy musical career. Like any success story, Beyoncé's includes a trophy case full of awards, a billionaire empire, and a fan base that has been ride or die for her since the days of Dangerously in Love. But she's not just aging. Some whistleblowers suggest that her road to the top wasn't all sunshine and roses. In an open discussion with Carrie, Cat Williams, renowned for his unvarnished candor, is shedding light on Beyoncé's path. The champion comedian didn't hold anything back, spilling the beans on the inner workings of the business and disclosing,
you know, when you sign or you partner with somebody, especially who has a media platform or who has a big platform, you expect them to promote your stuff. Like, how would I look having partnerships with the Black Effect Podcast Network or having people on my book imprint Black Privilege and not promoting their stuff? Because that would be hurting me as well. Like, the bigger they get, the bigger win.
Kat claims that certain events that fans may see as fortunate breaks or career-defining mishaps for musicians are really well-planned backstage actions. One such example is Janet Jackson's infamous Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction. But Kat implies that someone always gains from these situations. In Janet's case, her career suffered, but Justin Timberlake's sustained success shows his strong belief that there is always a commercial opportunity. There's always someone profiting handsomely from the turmoil in the business when the entertainment industry's layers are peeled away. Kat's revelations provide a fresh perspective on the concept of success and the price one pays for it in the real world of sparkling glory. One commenter said it seems like Jay-Z and Beyonce seek out and sign their rivals to prevent them from overshadowing the two of them. Though Bey and Jay have established themselves as the music industry's king and queen, they won't last forever, as J. Cole and Tyler are vying for their attention. Why would anyone want wealth and fame if it means stealing from others to have it? Chloe and Hal Bailey are extremely talented, beautiful, and young. They have so much going for them. Fingers are pointing at Queen Bey for possibly ending Amory's musical career. The argument revolves around who did it first and who is to blame for those not fully aware of the situation. The enduring mystery surrounding Beyoncé-Emery's relationship adds another layer to the narrative of the music industry, leaving fans and critics alike to analyze the nuances of influence and inspiration in the world of glittering stardom. Amory is a Korean-American singer who emerged in the 2000s with her distinctive voice and go-go style that set her apart. She earned multiple prestigious award nominations along the way. Amory's life dramatically improved when she met a DC club promoter, who put her in the path of producer Rich Harrison. Their collaboration marked the beginning of a significant musical journey, and their chemistry was nothing short of explosive. In a 2002 interview, Amory even hinted that something remarkable might occur if they teamed up with Harrison as their musical partner. As momentum built, Amory hit a major roadblock when her label began to demand something bigger and bolder, despite Amory and Rich putting in extensive work to meet those demands. Amory had released some game-changing songs, influencing heavyweights like J-Lo and Yes. Beyoncé, it seemed like Amory was on the fast track to greatness, but Columbia Records refused to accept it. After a torturous 6 months of back and forth, the song was eventually released, but the drama didn't end there. People began to notice uncanny parallels between one of Amory's songs and Beyoncé's Crazy in Love. The Bayhive promptly defended Queen Bee, arguing that her song was released first. But here's the twist: the creator behind both tracks, Rich Harrison, had the song in his arsenal long before he worked with Beyoncé. Somewhere in the complex web of music business debates, this twist adds intrigue. Let's discuss the Bayhive, those die-hard Beyoncé fans quick to shut down any talk of Beyoncé copying Amory. They argue that Beyoncé's hit Crazy in Love dropped 2 years before Amory's track, so without Beyoncé paving the way, Amory's song might not have seen the light of day. Makes sense, right? Insane. Here's the kicker: fans are skeptical that it's just a coincidence that Beyoncé have purposefully thrown a wrench in Amory's success. Amory and Beyoncé were connected when Beyoncé's father, Matthew, a record executive, introduced her to Rich Harrison, a producer who had worked with stars like Mary J. Blige and Toni Braxton. Fans speculate that Beyoncé's alliance with Harrison wasn't just a coincidence, but a calculated move to remove Amory from the spotlight. Matthew Knowles was not only a loving father but also a powerful figure in the music industry. This may have sealed Amory's fate in the cutthroat industry. Amory's career hit a rough patch during this time, but Beyoncé's star continued to rise, and Crazy in Love became a global hit. Meanwhile, Amory struggled to find her groove and released a few more tracks, but the spark seemed to fade. Was it all orchestrated behind the scenes, or did Beyoncé's entry into the music industry contribute to Amory's downfall? There are ongoing discussions in the court of public opinion on the internet. Even though Beyoncé has the fiercely loyal behind her, some find the timing suspicious. It's easy to overlook Amory's rise, her conflicts with the label, the similarities between Crazy in Love and One Thing, and the consequent downturn in her career. The internet loves a good conspiracy theory, and this one has been simmering for years. While Queen Bey has faced challenges, and the Amory saga is just a small part of the larger story of the murky side of the music industry, Beyoncé has also been accused of taking credit for songs she didn't write. Recently, songwriter Tiffany Red stated that Beyoncé and other artists are being accused of stealing publishing rights for songs they didn't write. Tiffany Red noted that when Kellis voiced similar accusations about Beyoncé using her samples for Energy on Renaissance, she was attacked on social media by fans and told to keep quiet. I'm starting to think that Beyoncé is just as big of a bully and as messed up as Jay-Z. It's the songwriter's own personnel who will do the dirty work, so I hope more writers speak out against the practices of musicians stealing from composers. Amory is not the first victim. Chloe Bailey's career might also show signs of Beyoncé's interference. Chloe Bailey knows the lengths to which Beyoncé would go to maintain her position in the music industry. The internet fame of Chloe and Halle Bailey started growing early, thanks to their outstanding song covers. Their remarkable vocal abilities gained recognition in 2011 when they covered Beyoncé's Best Thing I Never Had. Their undeniable talent quickly catapulted them toward Disney stardom. A critical moment came when Beyoncé herself acknowledged them in December 2013, shortly after she had already stirred the music industry with her self-titled album. Recognizing their talent, Beyoncé signed Chloe and Halle to her record label, Parkwood Entertainment, and mentored them throughout their careers. Despite this mentorship, Chloe Bailey's career didn't take off as fans had hoped. Given Beyoncé's guidance, one would have expected Chloe's debut album, In Pieces, released on March 31st, 2023, to dominate the charts. However, reality painted a different picture, as the album only sold 10,000 units in its first week, leaving fans wondering why Beyoncé's protégé struggled to make a name for herself when it seemed she had all the makings of success. DJ Envy put the blame for the underwhelming performance on Beyoncé herself, suggesting it might be worth hearing him out instead of dismissing the argument.
Sean Carter is worse. He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
DJ Envy claims that Beyoncé was tasked with marketing Bailey's record because of her global celebrity position and enormous fan base of 319,000 Instagram followers. Although Beyoncé's support may have greatly increased the record's exposure, Bailey's album received little to no marketing on Beyoncé's social media channels, which confused even some of her followers. Promoting one other's work is a natural expectation when you sign or collaborate with someone of Beyoncé's caliber, Envy said. Envy compared his actions to his own and stressed the need of encouraging those you work with. He was perplexed by Beyoncé's lack of public relations and hinted that she could have been apprehensive to let Chloe to surpass her. Some theories even contend that rather than really developing Khloe's talent, Beyoncé's early mentoring of her was motivated by a desire to keep her under strict control since they saw her as a potential threat.
The fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game and it's all Jay-Z.
And that's not even everything. Beyoncé has long been the target of Azealia Banks' resentment, and she hasn't hesitated to voice her feelings. Banks has repeatedly criticized Beyoncé, accusing her of trying to suppress Black voices and even stealing her songs in 2022. Banks escalated her criticism, accusing Beyoncé of attempting to discredit her contributions to house music. The feud intensified when Banks shared a quote from an insider with Metro UK, revealing that Beyoncé drew inspiration from various artists, including Azealia Banks, when brainstorming ideas for her future songs. This revelation did not sit well with Banks, who expressed her fury by pointing out her solo contributions compared to Beyoncé's collaborations with multiple people. She also criticized what she perceived as Beyoncé's insincere attempt to garner attention during Pride Month, accusing her of not genuinely caring about the LGBTQ community at other times of the year. The rapper further stirred controversy by criticizing the Renaissance tour after initially expressing excitement about attending. Instead, Banks chose to stay home, venting her annoyance on Instagram with a divisive rant. In Blue Ivy's Cabaret, Banks called Beyoncé Gazelle and canceled her plans to attend the tour, saying she didn't want to leave her mansion to see what she saw as a repeated performance. Banks didn't hold back, accusing Beyoncé of doing horrible things behind the scenes to harm other Black female musicians, even bringing up Mary J. Blige during her tirade. Banks also mentioned the Grammy incident and the Lemonade ruse, questioning why Beyoncé didn't confront her directly. And as she wrapped up her rant, she criticized Beyoncé for choosing to collaborate with Kevin instead of acknowledging and paying tribute to the legion of Black women who contribute to her music. Beyoncé reportedly pursues collaborations with artists like the Dixie Chicks, Shakira, and Adele. Jay-Z's protege also gave a performance from the pit, implying that Beyoncé needed to elevate her performances even further. Not only is Cat Williams making serious fun of Beyoncé, but he's also mocking her relationship with Jay-Z. According to Cat, Jay-Z is involved in some dubious activities, and he's not afraid to call him out in his usual straightforward manner. Cat Williams has been spilling the tea on what he perceives to be questionable actions. When it comes to voicing his concerns about Jay-Z's behavior, the comedian isn't holding back. He's making sure everyone knows about it, and it's not just speculation, as Jay-Z was recently exposed by Jaguar Wright for a variety of things.
You know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. You know, some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed.
Diddy, which she completed with evidence showing Jay has always been associated with the most dubious characters throughout the flurry of allegations surrounding Diddy. Jay-Z has remained noticeably quiet, maybe in the hopes that individuals disregarding their close friendship from only a few months ago. Diddy stated in an interview that Jay-Z was the only person allowed to call him Sean, aside from his mother. There's also the question of when Jay actually won the Lifetime Achievement Award last year, or if Jay-Z just made that up. Jay-Z publicly praised Diddy, calling him an inspiration who embodies the need for a little bit of audacity to succeed in the industry. Diddy embodies the mantra of perseverance and acceptance of a certain degree of eccentricity. But if the accusations against him are accurate, they suggest something more than eccentricity. Rather, they point to a darker, malevolent side that someone wrote while Diddy was getting all of this attention. Jay-Z is presumably secretly taking all preventative measures to ensure that he isn't the next to pay off witnesses and make the least notable ones vanish. As for what else he could be doing, he's probably clearing as much of his history as possible. Right now, that is whatever's left of the stuff he hasn't already shed over the years. According to Jaguar Wright, who claims that Jay-Z isn't a saint either. In fact, he might even be worse than Diddy. Jay's ability to work covertly and conceal himself behind his wife's public persona, Wright claims, effectively deflects attention from his own dubious past.
I'm saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend, that seems like a setup is. What I'm saying is, if Jussie Smollett and Lee Daniels for a living make stories that are not real, and they make them so good that people believe them and buy.
The media is talking about Jay-Z's alleged role in grooming and abusing teenage women, as well as his links to disturbing situations, such as his relationship with the predator R. Kelly. At the age of 16, Tiara Marie signed to Jay-Z's record company and had an appearance on Love and Hip Hop before abruptly disappearing from the limelight. The case that Cassie brought against Diddy seems to have set off a chain reaction that has shown more general problems in the music business, with Jay-Z being the most recent target. A widely shared blind item purports to show that Jay-Z had an affair with singer Tiara Marie when she was underage. It also purports that after Beyoncé found out, Jay allegedly used this information to manipulate Tiara's career, effectively barring her from the industry for 10 years. Tiara later revealed in an interview that Jay-Z abruptly severed their relationship without providing a personal explanation. Due to a purported romantic entanglement, Jay-Z cut ties with Tiara, and Beyoncé's response contributed to this decision. Furthermore, it implies that Ray J, who had his sights set on Tiara, exacerbated the circumstance, prompting Jay-Z to make a quick change. Pay attention to Rihanna. The conspiracy of rumors about Jay-Z keeps coming to light. It's speculated that Jay-Z not only halted Tiara Marie's career, but also ensured that no other record label could sign her. Allegedly, a conflict between the individual overseeing Tiara's career and the rumored mogul, presumably Jay-Z, escalated with the form of forbidding any future romantic involvement between the mogul and the singer. This figure apparently believed Tiara was particularly special. Regrettably, Tiara is not the sole individual who has been the subject of rumors about Jay-Z's alleged grooming and subsequent harm. There are claims that he was involved with Foxy Brown when she was only 14 or 15 years old. Additionally, Jay-Z said to have met Beyoncé when she was 16, with their relationship supposedly starting when she turned 18. However, skepticism arises given Jay-Z's past and his associations with individuals like R. Kelly. In the context of R. Kelly, persistent talk suggests that Jay-Z played a role in Aaliyah's tragic death, driven by jealousy after she reportedly favored Dame Dash over him. According to Jaguar, right, Jay-Z reportedly moved up the corporate ladder after Aaliyah died by getting rid of rivals. Producer Rich Harrison is reported to have been quickly bought by Jay-Z from vocalist Amory, who was seen as a potential threat to Beyond's success. As we previously said, someone responded, "Bring them all out. If Aaliyah had remained alive, Jay-Z would have been my favorite." She was done, for sure. Aaliyah frequently discusses Beyoncé, who is a famous Jaguar, has already voiced worries on the circumstances surrounding Aaliyah's untimely death, pointing to many peculiar instances that raise the question of whether Jay-Z was involved in any way. She said that Jay-Z started establishing relationships with influential figures in the business after the death of Big L, including Diddy, who she affectionately calls Honeycombs. Wright also offered an explanation for Jay-Z's friendship with R. Kelly, despite the latter's actions against Aaliyah. Even though they may have committed similar crimes, Jay-Z's support of Kelly may have come from their shared affiliation with Aaliyah and their cooperation on records. Following the revelation of R. Kelly's offenses, Jay-Z's PR staff allegedly worked feverishly to erase any trace of their association with Jaguar. Wright has said that Jay-Z is acting in a more depraved manner than Diddy, and that it will soon become clear how bad he really is. Shan Carter is more cunning, patient, and clever in a 3-year-old interview, carefully aligning people he considers allies and stepping back while they bear the consequences. Although some people disregarded Jaguar's claims and called her spiteful for going after Jay-Z, a significant number of followers seemed to agree with her accusations. Jaguar said that Jay-Z had been acting strangely toward a lady in the business who was close to her. Though the person's identity is still unknown, please feel free to share in the comments. Many comments suggest that Jaguar has been attempting to explain Jay-Z's actions far before the issues involving Diddy. Now, the question is whether you believe Jay-Z can really be worse than Diddy, and if you agree with the charges made against him. His mistreatment of his wife has infuriated his fans.
When you get to this level, we can make sure we knock you from a $20 million man to putting in the news that people won't hire you no more and your career is done.
So what are your thoughts? If you like this video, please leave a comment below. If you want to be the first to watch my future video, click the subscribe button and press the bell symbol. Every week, I provide updates like this one in which I reveal the trade secrets of your favorite music stars.